Thank you. I'll make this short. First off, before I forget, one of the boards I sit on is the Hays County Food Bank, and we have our our van in the back on the other side of the Jumpy House. We got cookies, so be sure and visit our food bank van. We sure appreciate it. We still have a long way to go, and I think we all know that. But today's a celebration, and what I want to talk about is some of the people that paved the way, that got us to where we are today from where we were a while ago in this area. I want to talk about Miss Alliston Swan, who was a Ralston. She was one of the first. She was in that first class that was desegregated into Buda High School, and she was at the top of her class. And she and her family, the Roystons, the Swans, the Browns, the Buttons, the Burns, all paved the way and did great things from the 60s to even up today. They raised their families here, and they were major contributors to the city of Buda and Hays County. And they were outstanding folks, and they're some of the finest people you'll ever meet. The two other people I want to recognize is Dr. and Mrs. McCormick. They had Miss Burns was as a McCormick baby. They had the clinic in the hospital up here across from the high school, and they refused to have a segregated waiting room. And they actually lost patients in Buda that would not go to them because they did not have it segregated. But Miss McCormick was adamant about it, and so was Dr. McCormick. And Jerry McCormick just turned 100 years old a few months ago and is still living in the house over here around the corner and doing well. So, great people. Also, I think remember the people in Buda and Kyle that voted to desegregate their schools before it was law, and did it before most of the state and most of the country did already. And that was not an easy thing to do, because in those school board votes, they were 4-3 votes. It was not an easy thing, and there was a lot of opposition. And it took a lot of courage for those people to vote in favor of it, and they did that. So remember those also. Two other men I want to remember is Mo Johnson and Bob Barton. They ran the newspaper in the area back in that time, and they wrote articles in favor of desegregation and were huge proponents of it. Bob Barton actually had a cross burned in his yard in San Marcos because of his stance to desegregate. So we've got a rich history that we need to celebrate. We still have a long way to go. I was thinking today, the things that I heard from my grandparents' generation, the things they said, their attitudes, down to my parents' generation, and down to even my generation, the things that I heard on Cedar Street or that I was a part of on Cedar Street are so foreign to what we have now. We've come so much farther. I was thinking the other day, people my age and up, I think we saw color. When we looked at somebody, we saw a color. I don't think my kids in that generation see that as much, and that shows you that we have come a long way. But we have one goal, and this should be our only goal, is to love each other as Christ first loved us. And until we get there, we're not there yet, but that should be our goal. But thank y'all. I want to thank Terry Cummins for inviting me. I got to speak last year, and this is the first time I've ever invited, the second time to speak at an event. So I didn't know what to do. So thank y'all so much.